Good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Bible Stories installment of the story of David. Awesome. Keep in mind, the show is rated A for awesome. Viewer discretion is advised. So, did you take your pills? We are kind of a lot of late, but not really. So take your pills. Then pack your bowl right here. Pack your bowl. Then grab your smokes that are somewhere around here. Then get your bedtime beverage, your nightly reward for keeping other people alive, because that's way important. Other people living. That's a thing that needs to happen. So, we are on 1 Samuel chapter 21. Let's find out what happens. David came to Nob the priest, Ahimelech. Ahimelech came trembling to meet David and said, Wait a minute. We did read chapter 20, and if you were in a group and did not read chapter 20 with us, or I didn't post it, it is on my YouTube. Keep in mind, it is not. Okay. Then Jonathan told David, okay, seeing as we can't be in love anymore. Okay. So, then David left there, so when he left, because Saul is trying to kill David. Okay. Saul is trying to kill David. So David is trying to escape. So David came to the priest. And Ahimelech came trembling to meet David and was like, Why are you alone? Why is no one with you? And David said, The king has charged me with a matter. He said, No one must know anything about the matter I send you and which with I have charged you. I have made an appointment with the young men for such and such a place. Now then, what do you have? Can I have 5 loaves of bread? Whatever is here. Okay, so listen. Remember we just read about this in the other story, right? David came to the priest, him and his men. David is by himself. And remember, even when that, I said, no, that's not what happened. So, here it is. Here is the story right now. And David is by himself. And the priest said, I have no ordinary bread, only holy bread, provided that the young men have kept themselves from women. And David answered the priest, Indeed, women have been kept from us, as always when I go on an expedition. The vessels of the young men are holy, even when it is a common journey. How much more today will their vessels be holy? So the priest gave him the holy bread, for there was no bread except for the bread of presence, which is removed from before the Lord to be replaced by hot bread on the day it is taken away. Now, a certain man, okay, so a Jew who was the chief of the shepherds, he saw David. And then David said to Ahimelech, Do you have any weapons? I I don't have any weapons because we had to go like that. Do you have anything? And the priest said, we have Goliath's sword. It's wrapped in a cloth. If you'll take that, take it, because we don't have nothing else. And David was like, fuck yeah, jackpot, yeah, okay, we're about to go kill some shit. Okay, and David rose and fled that day from Saul, and he went to King Achish of Gath. Okay, here we go. The servants of Achish said to him, is this not David, the king of the land? Did they not sing to one another of him in their dances? And then they sing this song. David took these words to heart and was very much afraid of Achish. So he changed his behavior before them. He pretended to be mad in their presence. He scratched marks on the doors of the gate and let his spittle down his beard. Achish said, what are you doing? You're wasting my fucking time. Is there a lack of madmen around here? What? Get. Ugh. What? You guys, am I supposed to bring him home? Like, get out of here. So, we are on chapter 22, and I am going to need just a second. Okay, chapter 22. Okay. David left there and escaped to leave to the cave of Adullam. His brothers and all his father's house heard of it, and they went down there to him. See, this is what I was saying the other day. I don't remember what we were reading, but it was something about David escaping and no one knew where he was. It's like, well, how the fuck do they keep finding out where he's at, but Saul doesn't know where he is? There's no fucking way. How is that a fucking way? There's no fucking way. So, all the men in his family came to see him. Everyone who was in distress. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. This seems like it's a Jesus thing. I think David was the original Jesus, minus the gay shit. David left there and escaped to the cave of Adullam. His brothers and all his other. So everybody in the house heard of it, and they went down there to him. Everyone who was in distress, who's in debt, everyone who was discontented, gathered to him, and he became captain over them. Those who were with him numbered about 400. It's always a little amount of people. David went from there to Mizpah, and he said to the king of Moab, please let my father and mother come to you until I know what God will do for me. And he left them with the king of Moab, and they stayed with him all the time that David was in the stronghold. Then the prophet Gad said to David, there's a dude now. He's always talking to Jordan Peterson. His name is Gad Saad. I wonder if he's named after this guy. I should ask him, but I don't know him. But his name is Gad Saad. Do not remain in the stronghold. Okay, so the prophet said, do not remain in the stronghold. Leave. Go to Judah. So David went to the forest of Hereth, and Saul heard that David and those who were with him had been located. How didn't you know where he was? Everybody else did. Saul was sitting at Gibeah under the tamarisk tree on the height with his spear in his hands, and all his servants were standing around him. Saul said, hear now, you Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards? Will he make you all commanders of thousands and of hundreds? And all his servants. So is that like everybody, like his whole castle? Okay. Is that why all of you have conspired against me? No one discloses to me when my son makes a league with David. None of you is sorry for me or discloses that my son has stirred up my servant against me to lie in wait as he is doing today. And Doeg the Edomite, who was in charge of Saul's servants, said, I saw that dude. I want to snitch. Yeah, he was at the church. He inquired of the Lord and then gave him shit. And then gave him Goliath's sword. That was his anyways. I just want to interject. That was David's anyways. And the king sent for the priest and for everybody in his house. All of them came to the king, and Saul said, listen, why have you conspired against me, you and David, by giving him bread and a sword? And then you even talked to God for him. Oh, you know he's not my friend no more, right? You know he's gonna kill me, right? Fuck you. Then Ahimelech answered and said, who among all your servants is as faithful as David? He is the king's son-in-law and is quick to do your bidding, and is honored in your house. Is today the first time that I have inquired of God for him? By no means. Do not let the king impute anything to his servant or to any member of my father's house. Your servant has known nothing of all of this, or even a little bit. I don't know. And then the king's like, okay, you're going to die, everybody. And the king said to the guard, turn and kill the priest, because their hand is also with David. They knew that he fled and did not disclose it to me. But the king's was like, nah, or the king's men was like, nah, no. Then the king said to Doeg, you go ahead and kill the priest. So he killed the priest. All of them, 25 of them. Nob, the city of priests, he put to the sword. Men, women, everything. Everything was gone. See, and I don't understand why they gotta kill the animals. What did the animals do? What are you gonna do with all the animals? Are you gonna eat them? I bet you they don't. But one of the sons of Ahimelech, named Abiathar escaped and fled to David. Abiathar told David that Saul has killed everybody. And David was like, I knew on that day when Doeg was there, he would surely tell Saul, I am responsible for the lives of your father's house. Stay with me and do not be afraid, for the one who seeks my life seeks yours. You will be safe with me. Oh, that's so heroic. David is such a hero. That should tell all you gay people, like Brandon Straka. David was tough as fuck. He is one of the toughest dudes of the Jews for like a long time. Like, he is known as a mighty man. So you can be a mighty man too. I promise. Anyway, I will be right back. Okay. Oops. All right. Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 23. Now, they told David, the Philistines are fighting against Keilah and are robbing the threshing floors. Okay, these threshing floors, right? I didn't know what the hell they were. Okay. But a threshing floor, I think, is where they separate the wheat. I don't know. I think it is where they separate the wheat. So let's double check. Okay. Oh my god. I'm an idiot. My bad, please. A threshing floor. A hard, level surface on which corn or other grain is threshed with a flail. Threshed with a flail. So I think that is where they separate it, right? What the fuck? Okay. A threshing floor is. And then winnow it. Demonstrate that. The fuck? I. Okay, so maybe that's how they make flour? Is that making flour? Okay. David inquired of the Lord, shall I go and attack these Philistines? And God was like, fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Yeah. He's like, save the people! Fuck yeah! But David's men, they was like, we're scared as fuck. So, like, we're gonna go fight these guys? Like, are you sure? And then David was like, are you sure? And then God was like, what'd I say? I said, go, 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 go. It's time. It's time to do the damn thing. So David and his men went to Keilah and fought with the Philistines, brought away their livestock, and dealt with them a heavy defeat. Thus, David rescued the inhabitants of Keilah, right? And when Abiathar, son of Ahimelech, fled to David at Keilah. Keilah. He came down with an ephod in his hand. Right, so he came down with the priest hat. Um, Papa Emeritus of Ghost. I think he wears that. We can double check if you want. Because I'm not totally sure. But I think an ephod is the thing that Papa Emeritus wears. Maybe the Catholic guy wears it too, but he's a communist, so we don't care about that guy. A sleeveless garment worn by Jewish priests. Oh, it's the dress. Okay, so he had a dress. I don't know if that's what Papa Emeritus wears or not. Does he wear a dress? Oh, well, a robe thing. I don't know. Now, it was told Saul. Yeah, I think he wears a black suit. I don't think he wears the ephod thing. I think that's what the dope wears. Now, it was told Saul that David came to Keilah, and Saul said, huh, he's mine now. He's mine. And Saul summoned all the people to war, to go down to Keilah to besiege David and his men. When David learned that Saul was plotting evil against him, he said to the priest, "Bring the ephod here." Somebody's listening to ICP back there. Hopefully nobody can hear it, but somebody's at ICP on back there. Was his name Abiathar? Oh, it is. It is, because his dad was Ahi something or other. So David said to the priest, Abiathar, "Bring me the ephod." And David said, "O Lord, God of Israel, your servant has heard that Saul seeks to come to Keilah to destroy the city on my account. And now will Saul come down as your servant has heard? O Lord, God of Israel, I beseech you, tell me what the fuck is going on." Then David said, "Will the men of Keilah surrender me and my men to the hand of Saul?" And the Lord said, "Yeah, yeah, they're going to do it." And then David and his men, who were about 600, set out and left Keilah. They wandered wherever they could go. When Saul was told that David had escaped, he gave up the expedition. David remained in the strongholds, in the wilderness, in the hill country, in the wilderness of Ziph. Saul sought him every day, but the Lord did not give him into his hand. David was in the wilderness when he learned that Saul had come to seek his life. Saul's son Jonathan set out and came to David. How does he know where he's at? Okay, so he came to David at Horesh. There he strengthened his hand through the Lord. Oh, this is to catch a predator. Uh, it's on Hell's Pit. He said to him, "Do not be afraid, for the hand of my father Saul shall not find you. You shall be KOI, and I shall be second to you. My father Saul also knows this." The two of them made a covenant before the Lord. They got married again. See, I don't like this because nobody, all the people I have told about this, minus one person, has been like, oh, that's not what that means. It really, really gives the impression David and Jonathan are gay. And they're either making love together or they're getting married or promising they love each other, and no one will ever be loved as much as them. And even Saul told them they were gay. He was like, you're gay and it's because of your whore mom. So, some Ziphites went up to Saul at Gibeah and said, David is hiding among us. See, these Jews got a problem. These Jews got a real problem with snitching on the good guys. The Jews are evil. I'm sorry, they're evil. And maybe they're purposely making David seem gay. Because Jews are just like that. I don't fucking know, but whatever. Anyway, they came and snitched on David and said exactly where the fuck he was. Now, O king, whenever you wish to come down, do so, and our part will be to surrender him into the king's hand. And Saul said, all right, thank you. Thank you so much. Nobody is nice to me, so thank you. Go find out for sure. And just be careful because he's slick. His name should be Slick Rick. Look around and learn all the hiding places and come back with this information, and I will go with you. If he is in the land, I will search him out among all the thousands of Judah. So they set out and went to Ziph ahead of Saul. David and his men were in the wilderness of Maon and Arabah, to the south of Jeshimon. Isn't this Orochimaru's little thing that he can summon to, like, his indestructible wall? There's many of them. Isn't that called Jeshimon? Anyway, Saul and his men went to search for him. When that was in Naruto. In Naruto, he's the snake guy, Orochimaru. He has a jutsu. I think it's called Jeshimon. But Saul and his men went to search for him. When David was told, he went down to the rock and stayed in the wilderness of Maon. When Saul heard that, he pursued David into the wilderness of Maon. Saul went on one side of the mountain and David and his men on the other side. David was hurrying to get away from Saul, while Saul and his men were closing in on David and his men to capture him. Then a messenger came to Saul saying, hurry and come, for the Philistines have made a raid on the land. So Saul stopped pursuing David and went against the Philistines. Therefore, that place is called Rock of Escape. David then went up from there and lived in the strongholds of En-gedi. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, Give me 1 second. Okay, so chapter 14, this can be the last chapter, okay? When Saul returned from following the Philistines, he was told David was in the wilderness of En-Gedi. All right. Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all of Israel and went to look for David and his men in the direction of the rocks of wild goats. He came to the sheepfolds beside the road. There was a cave, and Saul went in to relieve himself. Now David and his men were sitting in the innermost parts of the cave. The men of David said, "Are you okay?" I guess he's okay. But anyway, the men of David was like, dude, 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 like, dude. And David was like, nah, we can't do that. So hold on. And then like David was like, nah. So David went and stealthily cut off a corner of Saul's cloak. Afterward, David was stricken to the heart because he had cut off a corner of Saul's cloak. So he must have been, he must have been feeling some kind of way. And then he told his men, no, this God's dude, I can't even, nope, can't do it. Nope. Then Saul got up and left the cave and went on his way. Afterward, David went out of the cave and called after Saul, "Yo!" And Saul looked behind him, and David did the face thing, right? And David said to Saul, "What are you doing? What are you doing? To this very day, your eyes have seen how the Lord has gave you into my hand, and some urged me to kill you. But I said, nah, no, that's God's dude. Nope. And I've cut the corner off your cloak. For by the fact that I've cut off the corner of your cloak and did not kill you, you may know for certain that there is no wrong or treason in my hands. I have not sinned against you. You are hunting me to take my life, and for what? May God judge between me and you, right? And the Lord is going to avenge me on your account, but my hand shall not be against you. As the ancient proverb said, out of the wicked comes forth wickedness, but my hand shall not be against you. Against whom has the king of Israel come out? Whom do you pursue? A dead dog? A flea? Listen, may the Lord judge and give sentence between me and you. May he see to it and plead my cause and vindicate me against you. When David had finished speaking, Saul said, David, I'm so sorry, David, I'm so sorry. And he said to David, You are more righteous than I, for you have repaid me good, where I have repaid you evil. Today you have explained how you have dealt with me, and that you did not kill me when the Lord put me in your hands. For whoever has found an enemy and sent the enemy safely, so may the Lord reward you with good for what you have done to me this day. Now, I know you're going to be king, and that kingdom will be established in your hand. Swear to me, therefore, by the Lord, you will not cut off my descendants after me, that you will not wipe out my name from my father's house. And David swore this to Saul. Then Saul went home, but David and his men went to the stronghold. Dun, dun, dun. Man, okay. So, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. I love you and have the greatest day ever. No, I lied. Have the sweetest dreams ever. Love you. Bye.